Let me tell you something real. Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because their mindset is outdated. Your phone gets updates. Your apps get updates. Your systems get updates. But your thinking, still running on an old version. That's why today is about one thing. Refresh your mindset. Because the life you want will never be built with the mindset you currently have. You don't need new circumstances. You don't need new people. You don't even need new opportunities. You need a new perspective. Right now, you keep asking for motivation, but what you really need is alignment. Your habits don't match your goals. Your effort doesn't match your dreams. Your discipline doesn't match your potential. And until those line up, nothing changes. Let me be clear. You can pray all day. You can pray all day. You can visualize all night. But if you don't execute, life won't move. God responds to movement. Success responds to action. Dreams respond to work. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions don't exist. There will always be Bill, Steve. There will always be fear. There will always be distraction. But champions don't wait. They adapt. They adjust. They advance. Even when tired, even when confused, even when scared. That's mindset. Right now, some of you are stuck in survival mode, just trying to get through the day. But you weren't created to survive. You were created to dominate your purpose, to leave a legacy, to impact generations, to become a walking testimony. But you can't carry yesterday's trauma into tomorrow's destiny. Let it go, the pain taught you. Now grow. You say you want success, but you still entertain distractions. You say you want greatness, but you still hang with people who don't dream. You say you want change, but you keep repeating the same routine. That's insanity. If nothing changes, nothing changes. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. Stop negotiating with your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is lying to you. It tells you to rest when you should grind. It tells you tomorrow when it should be now. It tells you a later when it should be today. Success doesn't live in comfort. It lives in consistency. Some of you need to hear this. Nobody is coming to save you. No mentor, no miracle, no shortcut. It's on you. Your future is your responsibility. Once you accept that, power comes back into your hands. You've been looking for signs. Here it is. You've been waiting for confirmation. This is it. You've been praying for clarity. Start moving and clarity will follow. Stop letting your past explain your future. Stop letting fear make your decision. Stop letting tiredness steal your destiny. You still have breath. That means purpose. Let me tell you how real change happens. You wake up earlier. You work harder. You complain less. You focus more. You stay consistent. No magic, just mindset. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be committed. Because when commitment shows up every day, results have no choice but to follow. Today, make a decision. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when things feel bitter. Today, refresh your mindset, upgrade your discipline, respect your potential, and start becoming the person your future is begging you to be. Because at the end of your life, it won't matter what you said, it will matter what you did. Most people don't realize this, but the reason they are still in the same place they were 5 years ago is not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, not because life was unfair to them, but because their thinking never evolved, their mindset never upgraded, and their perspective never matured. See, life moves forward every single day, whether you're ready or not. And if your mind is still operating on yesterday's beliefs, yesterday's fears, and yesterday's limitations, you will be left behind while the world keeps moving. You can't step into a new season with an old mentality. You can't expect new results while repeating the same thoughts. And you can't build a powerful future while still holding on to broken ideas. Everything begins in the mind. Before success shows up in your bank account, it shows up in your thinking. Before transformation appears in your lifestyle, it appears in your attitude. Before greatness becomes visible in your actions, it is born quietly in your belief system. That's why I'm telling you right now, if you don't update your thinking, you will stay stuck exactly where you are, watching others rise while you keep wondering why your life feels like it's on pause. Some of you are waiting for motivation, but motivation is not the problem. Some of you are waiting for opportunity, but opportunity is not the problem. The real issue is that your mindset is outdated. You still think small while praying for big. You still move slow while asking for fast results. You still negotiate with comfort while dreaming about success. You still make excuses while talking about destiny. You still blame circumstances while claiming you want change. And until your thinking changes, your situation won't. You can't download new results into an old operating system. Your mind has to be refreshed. Your perspective has to be renewed. Your habits have to be reprogrammed. Because success doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to action, and action is controlled by mindset. Let me tell you something that might hurt a little, but it's real. Your current life is a reflection of your dominant thoughts. If you think average, you live average. If you think fearful, you move cautiously. If you think limited, you settle for less. But if you think growth, you evolve. If you think abundance, you expand. If you think discipline, you rise. Every level of your life is connected to the level of your thinking. You don't accidentally become successful. You don't randomly become great. You become what you consistently think about, talk about, and work toward. That's why people who refuse to change their mindset stay stuck in cycles. Same problems, different years. Same excuses, new calendar. Same struggles, different age. And the dangerous part is that comfort makes stagnation feel normal. You get used to being tired. You get used to being broke. You get used to settling. You get used to disappointment. You get used to saying a one day. You get used to surviving instead of thriving. And after a while, you don't even realize you're stuck because you've learned how to live inside limitation. But deep inside, something keeps whispering that you were created for. That quiet voice reminding you that this is not your final chapter. That inner fire telling you that there's greatness locked inside of you waiting to be activated. But greatness doesn't wake up on its own. You have to challenge your thinking. You have to confront your comfort. You have to disrupt your routine. Most people want change without change. They want new results but keep old habits. They want better outcomes but repeat familiar patterns. They want growth but avoid discomfort. They want elevation but refuse education. They want success but reject sacrifice. That doesn't work. You can't rise while protecting your excuses. You can't grow while holding on to laziness. You can't win while staying mentally weak. If you want something different, you have to become someone different, not overnight, not magically, but intentionally. Day by day, choice by choice. See, updating your mindset means you stop blaming and start building. It means you stop complaining and start creating. It means you stop waiting and start working. It means you stop focusing on what you don't have and start maximizing what you do have. It means you stop saying, I can, and start asking, how can I? It means you stop letting fear control your decisions and start letting purpose guide your steps. It means you stop seeing obstacles as walls and start seeing them as lessons. Every setback carries insight. Every struggle carries strength. Every delay carries development, but only if your mindset is right. Some of you are still mentally living in your past failure, past heartbreaks, past mistakes, past disappointments. You keep replaying old scenes in your mind. And while you're busy reliving yesterday, tomorrow is passing you by. You have to let it go. Not because it didn't matter, but because it already taught you what it was supposed to teach you. You can't drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. Your future needs your focus more than your past needs your pain. Refresh your mindset. Forgive yourself. Release regret. Learn the lesson and move on. Let me say this clearly. Nobody's coming to rescue you. No miracle is going to drop discipline into your lap. No shortcut is going to replace consistency. No motivational video is going to do the work for you. At some point, you have to take full responsibility for your life. That's when power turns to your hands. When you stop waiting for someone to change your situation and decide that you will. When you stop hoping for better days and start creating them. When you stop making excuses and start making progress. Updating your thinking also means understanding that success is not a destination. It's a lifestyle. It's how you wake up. It's how you wake up. It's how you talk to yourself. It's how you manage your time. It's how you treat your body. It's how you handle adversity. It's how you show up when nobody's watching. It's how you respond when things get hard. Champions don't become champions on easy days. They are built in moments of fatigue, in seasons of uncertainty, in hours of isolation. While others sleep, they study. While others complain, they train. While others quit, they push. And let me tell you, growth will cost you. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you old relationships. It will cost you familiar routines. It will cost you excuses, but staying stuck will cost you your potential. Staying stuck will cost you your potential. Staying stuck will cost you your purpose. Staying stuck will cost you your legacy. Choose your price, because either way you're going to pay. You have to stop negotiating with your comfort zone. It will always tell you to stay small. It will always whisper that tomorrow is a better time. It would always convince you that you've done enough. But your destiny is calling you higher. Your future is waiting for a stronger version of you. Your dreams are begging you to evolve. And the moment you refresh your mindset, everything starts shifting. You start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You start finding solutions instead of excuses. You start moving with intention instead of hesitation. Some of you need to hear this. You are not behind. You are being prepared. You are not delayed. You are being developed. You are not denied. You are being redirected. But preparation requires patience, and development requires discipline. You can't rush the process. You can't skip the grind. You can't avoid the work. You have to become before you receive. You have to grow before you glow. You have to build before you shine. Updating your thinking means you stop measuring yourself against others and start mastering yourself. It means you stop comparing journeys and start committing to your own. Everyone has a different timeline. Everyone has a different path. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. Be better today. Think sharper today. Work harder today. Show up stronger today. Because here's the truth. Your mindset determines your altitude. Low thinking creates low living. High thinking creates high achievement. You can't expect mountain results with valley discipline. You can't ask for extraordinary while living ordinary. You can't desire greatness while practicing mediocrity. Refresh your mindset. Raise your standard. Respect your potential. And start acting like the person your future needs you to be. And one day, if you stay consistent, if you stay disciplined, if you stay hungry, you'll look back and realize that the moment everything changed wasn't when the money came or when the success showed up or when the recognition arrived. It was the moment you decided to update your thinking and refuse to stay stuck. Most people wait to feel motivated before they move, but disciplined people move even when they don't feel like it. And that right there is the difference between average lives and extraordinary ones. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. It rises when things are easy and disappears when life gets hard. Discipline doesn't care about feelings. Discipline doesn't negotiate with tiredness. Discipline doesn't listen to excuses. Discipline shows up on the days when you're exhausted, on the mornings when your body wants to sleep, on the nights when your mind wants to quit. Discipline is what carries you when motivation walks away. And if you're waiting to feel inspired before you act, you're going to be waiting forever, because success doesn't respond to moods. It responds to habits. See, motivation is like a spark, but discipline is the fire. A spark might get you started, but only fire keeps you warm through the storm. Motivation might make you sign up for the gym, but discipline gets you there at 5 a.m. Motivation might make you write goals, but discipline makes you work on them every day. Motivation might make you dream, but discipline turns dreams into reality. You don't build a powerful life off how you feel. You build it off what you do consistently, even when you don't feel like doing anything at all. Some of you are emotional workers. You operate based on your mood. When you feel good, you grind. When you feel tired, you rest. When you feel inspired, you start. When you feel discouraged, you stop. That's why your progress is unstable. That's why you keep starting over. That's why your life feels like a cycle instead of a climb. Champions don't let emotions drive their decision. They let commitment lead the way. They made a promise to themselves, and they honor it even when it hurts. Let me tell you something real. Nobody wakes up every day excited to do hard work. Nobody feels motivated all the time. The people you admire, the ones who are winning, the ones who are successful, they don't rely on motivation. They rely on structure. They rely on routine. They rely on discipline. They do what needs to be done because it needs to be done, not because it feels good. They understand that feelings change, but responsibility doesn't. Discipline is choosing growth over comfort. Discipline is choosing long-term results over short-term pleasure. Discipline is choosing purpose over procrastination. Discipline is saying no to distractions, saying no to distractions. Yes to development. Discipline is waking up when you want to sleep. Discipline is studying when you want to scroll. Discipline is working when you want to relax. Discipline is staying focused when life is trying to pull you in 1,000 directions. And here's the part people don't like. Discipline will cost you. It will cost you lazy mornings. It will cost you late nights. It will cost you hanging with people who don't share your vision. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you excuses. But what it gives you in return is priceless. It gives you confidence. It gives you self-respect. It gives you momentum. It gives you results. It gives you a future you can be proud of. Most people talk about wanting success, but their daily behavior says otherwise. They want the reward without the routine. They want the victory without the sacrifice. They want the lifestyle without the labor. That's not how it works. You don't get paid for what you wish for. You get paid for what you work for. Life doesn't respond to intention. It responds to execution. It don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your discipline. When pressure hits, you don't perform at your peak. You perform at your preparation. That's why discipline matters. Because when things get hard, and they will, motivation won't save you. Only habits will. Only systems will. Only the discipline you built when things were easy will carry you through when things get tough. Some of you are waiting for a breakthrough, but what you really need is a breakthrough in your daily routine. You don't need a miracle. You need consistency. You don't need inspiration. You need repetition. You don't need another motivational video. You need to show up for your life. Small actions done daily beat big actions done occasionally. 1 hour every day beats 10 hours once a month. Progress loves consistency. Discipline is doing this, mastering the basics. Discipline is staying committed when nobody is clapping. Discipline is practicing when nobody is watching. Discipline is building in silence. And eventually that silent work creates loud results. Let me say this clearly. Your future is being shaped by what you do today, not what you plan to do, not what you hope to do, what you actually do, what you actually do. Every day you either move closer to your dreams or further away. There is no standing still. If you're not growing, you're declining. If you're not building, you're breaking. If you're not disciplined, you're drifting. You have to train your mind to do hard things. You have to teach yourself to finish what you start. You have to condition your spirit to push past discomfort, because discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first it feels uncomfortable. At first it feels unnatural. But over time, discipline becomes your identity. You stop arguing with yourself. You stop negotiating with excuses. You just move. Most people quit when it gets uncomfortable. Disciplined people lean in. Most people slow down when it gets hard. Disciplined people speed up. Most people speed up. Most people look for exit. Hakunchi. Disciplined people look for solutions. That's why disciplined people win. Not because they're special, but because they're consistent. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for motivation to magically appear. Start now. Start tired. Start scared. Start uncertain. Start imperfect. Discipline grows through action. Confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. And understand this. Discipline is self-love. It's caring enough about your future to sacrifice in the present. It's respecting your potential. It's honoring your purpose. It's choosing who you want to become over who you are today. Every time you choose discipline, you vote for your future self. You don't need more talent. You don't need more luck. You don't need more time. You need more discipline. You need structure. You need consistency. You need standard. You need to decide that your goals matter more than your excuses. Because at the end of the day, motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going. Motivation might light the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Motivation might give you a push, but discipline carries you across the finish line. And one day, when you look back at how far you've come, you realize it wasn't luck that changed your life. It wasn't chance. It wasn't magic. It was discipline. It was showing up when you didn't feel like it. It was staying consistent when nobody noticed. It was choosing growth over comfort. It was doing the work even when it hurt. That's when you'll understand that discipline didn't just change your habits. It changed your habits. It changed your identity. It changed your future, and it turned your potential into reality. Most people don't realize that the very thing they protect every day is the same thing keeping them small. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels familiar. Comfort feels warm. But comfort is dangerous because it slowly steals your potential while making you believe everything is fine. Comfort tells you to rest when you should push. Comfort tells you tomorrow when it should be today. Comfort tells you that you've done enough when deep down you know you haven't even scratched the surface. Growth never happens in comfort. Expansion never happens in ease. Elevation never comes from convenience. Everything powerful in your life is waiting on the other side of discomfort. See, comfort is quiet. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It tells you to stay where you are. It convinces you that average is acceptable. It makes settling feel normal. It makes survival feel like success. And once comfort gets a hold of you, it slowly lowers your standards. You stop dreaming big. You stop challenging yourself. You stop pushing limits. You start choosing what's easy over what's necessary. And before you know it, years have passed and you're still in the same place, wondering why your life hasn't changed. Let me tell you something real. Your comfort zone is lying to you. It tells you that you need rest when what you really need is discipline. It tells you that you need motivation when what you really need is commitment. It tells you that you're tired when what you really are is untrained. Your comfort zone doesn't care about your future. It only cares about protecting your present. And if you keep listening to it, it will rob you of your destiny. Every breakthrough you desire requires discomfort. Every level you want demands pressure. Every dream you care needs sacrifice. You don't grow by doing what feels good. You grow by doing what feels hard. Muscles don't develop without resistance. Minds don't sharpen without challenge. Character doesn't strengthen without struggle. The pain you avoid is often the path to the person you're meant to become. Some of you are stuck because you've made comfort your goal instead of growth. You want things to be easy. You want the journey to be smooth. You want success without stress. But nothing valuable comes that way. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is purified by fire. Strong people are built in struggle. You don't become powerful in peaceful seasons. You become powerful when life forces you to adapt, adjust. Comfort keeps you scrolling when you should be studying. Comfort keeps you sleeping when you should be working. Comfort keeps you silent when you should speak up. Comfort keeps you in familiar relationships even when they limit your growth. Comfort keeps you doing what you know instead of learning what you need. And the longer you stay comfortable, the harder it becomes to move. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something that scared you? When was the last time you pushed past your limits? When was the last time you chose growth over convenience? Because if everything in your life feels easy, that's not peace. That's stagnation. You weren't created to live a soft life. You were created to build something meaningful. Comfort is the reason people stay in jobs they hate. Comfort is the reason people stay in toxic environments. Comfort is the reason people delay their dreams. Comfort is the reason people accept average relationships. Comfort is the reason people never discover what they're truly capable of. They don't fail because they can't succeed. They fail because comfort convinces them not to try. Growth requires courage. It requires you to step into uncertainty. It requires you to be uncomfortable. It requires you to risk failure. It requires you to be misunderstood. It requires you to leave familiar places and familiar people. And that's scary. But staying the same is scarier. Some of you are praying for change, but you're allergic to discomfort. You ask God for bigger opportunity, but you avoid bigger responsibility. You want a better future, but you refuse to change your routine. You want transformation, but you protect your habits. You can't grow while staying comfortable. Something has to give. Let me be honest, growth will cost you. It will cost you lazy mornings. It will cost you late nights. It will cost you relationships that don't align with your vision. It will cost you comfort. But staying where you are will cost you your potential. Choose wisely. Discomfort is temporary. Grit lasts forever. You have to train yourself to embrace discomfort, to welcome challenge, to lean into resistance. Because discomfort is not your enemy. It's your instructor. It's shaping you. It's strengthening you. It's preparing. Every uncomfortable moment is building something inside of you that comfort never could. Stop running from hard things. Hard things make you strong. Stop avoiding pressure. Creates diamonds. Stop escaping challenges. And challenges reveal character. You don't grow by staying safe. You grow by stepping forward even when you're afraid. Most people don't need more information. They need more courage. They already know what they should be doing. They already know what they need to change. They already know what's holding them back. But comfort has made them quiet. Comfort has made them passive. Comfort has made them wait. Waiting won't change your life. Action will. You don't find yourself in comfort. You find yourself in struggle. You discover who you are when things get hard. You meet your true strength when life tests you. You uncover your potential when you refuse to quit. Every time you choose discomfort, you grow. Every time you avoid it, you shrink. You weren't born to live small. You weren't created to settle. You weren't designed to just get by. There is more inside of you, more strength, more creativity, more resilience, more power. But comfort keeps it buried. Let discomfort wake you up. Let struggle sharpen you. Let pressure push you higher. Because on the other side of comfort is discipline. On the other side of discipline is growth. On the other side of growth is purpose. And on the other side of purpose is the life you've been praying for. One day, if you keep choosing discomfort, if you keep stepping in the challenge, if you keep pushing when it's hard, you'll look back and realize that comfort was never your friend. It was your test. And you passed it by refusing to stay where you were. Whenever you're ready, I can continue with. Most people spend their lives talking about the future they want while living daily in habits that guarantee the future they fear. And the truth is, your habits are already telling the story of where your life is headed long before you arrive there. You don't need a crystal ball to see your future. You don't need predictions or prophecies. Just look at what you do every day when nobody is watching. Look at how you start your mornings. Look at how you manage your time. Look at what you consume mentally, physically, emotionally. Look at how you respond to pressure. Look at what you do when motivation is gone. Those patterns repeated daily are quietly shaping your destiny. Your habits are not small. They are powerful. They are votes you cast every single day for the person you are becoming. People think big moments change lives, but it's the small decisions that actually do. It's the decision to wake up early or hit snooze. It's the decision to read or scroll. It's the decision to work on your craft or waste time. It's the decision to train your body or neglect it. It's the decision to speak positively or complain. Those choices feel insignificant in the moment, but compounded over time, they create massive outcomes. Great lives are not built in a day, they're built daily. You don't accidentally end up successful and you don't accidentally end up stuck. Successful and you don't accidentally end up stuck. Both are the result of habits. The problem is most people don't see habits as serious because they don't hurt immediately. Skipping discipline today doesn't ruin your life tomorrow. Avoiding growth today doesn't collapse your future instantly. But over months and years, those small choices pile up, and one day you wake up and realize you're living a life you never planned. Not because you failed once, but because you neglected consistency. Your habits are honest. They don't lie. You can say you want success, but your habits reveal what you actually value. You can say you want growth, but your habits reveal what you prioritize. You can say you want change, but your habits reveal whether you're willing to sacrifice. Habits tell the truth. Some people are frustrated with their results, but they've never audited their routine. They want a different outcome, but they repeat the same behavior. They want elevation, but they maintain the same environment. They want progress, but they protect the same patterns. That's not how transformation works. If you want a new future, you need new habits. If you want a different life, you need different daily actions. There's no shortcut around that. Your habits shape your identity. What you repeatedly do becomes who you believe you are. If you consistently show up late, you start believing that discipline isn't for you. If you consistently quit when things get hard, you start believing you're not resilient. If you consistently avoid responsibility, you start believing you're powerless. But the opposite is also true. When you consistently keep promises to yourself, confidence grows. When you consistently push through discomfort, strength develops. When you consistently show up, belief expands. Identity is built through repetition. Most people wait for kitchen. Most people wait for confidence comes from action. It comes from doing the hard thing repeatedly until it becomes familiar. It comes from stacking small wins. It comes from disciplined practice daily. Habits don't just change what you do, They change how you see yourself, and once your self-image changes, your ceiling rises. Let me be clear. Talent will not save you if your habits are weak. Intelligence will not carry you if your routine is broken. Motivation will not protect you if your discipline is inconsistent. Plenty of gifted people never reach their potential because their habits don't support their dream. Meanwhile, disciplined people with average talent often outperform everyone else because they show up daily and do the work. Your habits determine how you respond when life gets hard. When pressure comes, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. That's why habits matter most when motivation's gone. In tough seasons, you don't have time to think. You default to what you've practiced. If you practice excuses, you'll quit. If you practice discipline, you'll push. If you practice consistency, you'll endure. Some of you are asking why life feels heavy, but your habits are draining you. Poor sleep, poor focus, poor boundaries, poor self-talk. You can't expect clarity with chaotic routines. You can't expect strength with undisciplined habits. You can't expect growth while feeding distraction. What you allow daily eventually controls you. Habits also determine what you tolerate. What you repeatedly accept becomes your standard. If you tolerate mediocrity daily, it becomes normal. If you tolerate disrespect daily, it becomes familiar. If you tolerate laziness daily, it becomes identity. Raise your habits and your standards rise with them. Raise your standards and your future changes. Here's the truth most people avoid. You don't change your life by making one big decision. You change your life by making the same small decision over and over again until it rewires who you are. That's why discipline feels hard at first. You're not just changing behavior, you're challenging identity. Your old self resists. Your comfort zone fights back. But if you stay consistent, the resistance fades and the habit becomes who you are. You don't need perfect habits. You need repeatable ones. You don't need extreme routine. You need sustainable ones. Progress doesn't come from intensity alone. It comes from consistency. Small habits done daily outperform big efforts done occasionally every single time. Most people underestimate what habits can do in a year and overestimate what they can do in a day. Stay patient. Stay consistent. Growth is happening even when you don't see it. Discipline compounds. Effort accumulates. Habits build momentum. And one day what felt impossible becomes normal. Your future self is being built right now. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Today. Every choice you make is either feeding the future you want or the future you fear. Every habit is either building momentum or creating drag. You are not stuck because of one bad decision. You are stuck because of repeated ones. And you will not be free because of one good decision. You will be free because of repeated discipline. You don't rise by chance. You rise by habit. You don't fall suddenly. You drift daily. Awareness is the first step. Ownership is the second. Action is the third. Once you take responsibility for your habits, you take control of your future. And one day, if you stay consistent, if you protect your routine, if you honor your discipline, you look back and realize that success didn't come from luck or talent or timing. It came from habits. Most people want power over their circumstances, but very few are willing to take responsibility for their lives. And that's why they stay stuck. Responsibility is the doorway to power. The moment you stop blaming your past, your parents, your teachers, your economy, your government, your partner, or your situation, and you start owning every decision, every mistake, every outcome, that's the moment your life begins to change. You don't gain control by complaining. You don't gain strength by pointing fingers. You gain power by taking ownership. The truth is, nobody owes you success. Nobody owes you healing. Nobody owes you progress. Your life is your responsibility, and once you accept that fully, you stop waiting and start building. Blame feels good because it protects your ego. It allows you to stay comfortable while pretending you're trying. But blame also keeps you powerless. Every time you blame someone else, you give them control over your future. Every time you say it's because of them, you hand your power away. Responsibility does the opposite. Responsibility puts the steering wheel back in your hands. Responsibility says, maybe it wasn't my fault, but it's still my job to fix it. Responsibility says, I can't change what happened, but I can change what happens next. That mindset is freedom. Some people stay trapped in victim mode for years. They replay the same story, the same pain, the same excuses, and they call it processing. But healing doesn't come from repeating the past. Healing comes from choosing ownership. You don't move forward by reliving what hurt you. You move forward by deciding who you're going to become because of it. Life may have knocked you down, but responsibility is how you get back up. Let me tell you something real. Powerful people don't waste energy on excuses. They invest energy in solutions. They don't ask, why me? They ask, what now? They don't say, I can't because of my past. They say, I will because of my past. They understand that pain can either make you bitter or better. And responsibility is what decides which one you become. Responsibility means you stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for validation. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you. You realize that nobody is coming to save you. And instead of feeling defeated, you feel empowered. Because now you know the outcome is in your hands. You stop asking for miracles and start creating momentum. You stop hoping for change and start becoming it. Most people want success, but don't want accountability. They want results, but avoid responsibility. They want growth, but reject discipline. They want freedom, but refuse structure. You can't have power without ownership. You can't lead your life if you won't take responsibility for it. Every area where you avoid responsibility becomes an area where you remain weak. Responsibility also means facing yourself honestly. It means admitting when you're wrong. It means recognizing your patterns. It means acknowledging your role in your setbacks. Not to shame yourself, but to strengthen yourself. You can't fix what you won't face. You can't grow past what you deny. Ownership brings clarity. Clarity creates change. Some of you are waiting for life to get easier, but what you really need is to get stronger. Responsibility builds strength. Every time you take ownership, you build resilience. Every time you accept accountability, you increase confidence. Every time you handle what's in front of you instead of avoiding it, you grow. That's how character is built. That's how leaders are formed. That's how champions rise. Responsibility means you stop saying, I don't have time, and start saying, I didn't make it a priority. It means you stop saying, I can't, and start saying, I can't, and start saying, I haven't learned yet. It means you stop saying, they made me, and start saying, I chose to. Those small language shifts change everything because they shift you from victim to owner. Let me be clear, taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything. It means recognizing your power in every situation. Even when something isn't your fault, your response is still your responsibility. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And your response determines your future. Powerful people don't wait for perfect condition. They work with what they have. They don't wait until they feel ready. They prepare until they are. They don't wait for opportunity. They create them. Responsibility makes you proactive instead of reactive. It makes you intentional instead of emotional. It makes you focused instead of frustrated. Some people stay small because responsibility feels heavy. But responsibility doesn't crush you. It builds you. It teaches you discipline. It develops maturity. It sharpens your focus. It forces you to grow up spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Responsibility is weight training for your soul. You become dangerous in a good way when you accept responsibility. You stop being a product of your environment and start becoming an architect of your future. You stop being controlled by circumstances and start controlling your choice. You stop drifting and start directing your life. Every successful person you admire learned this lesson. No one is coming. They didn't wait for luck. They didn't depend on comfort. They didn't hide behind excuses. They took responsibility for their craft, their mindset, their discipline, their failures, their growth. They understood this is rented, and rent is due every day. Responsibility also means protecting your standards. It means guarding your time. It means choosing your circle wisely. It means saying no to distractions. It means saying yes to development. It means doing what's hard now so life can be easier later. And here's the beautiful thing about responsibility. The more you take, the stronger you become. The stronger you become, the more capable you feel. The more capable you feel, the bigger you think. The bigger you think, the higher you aim. And before you know it, your entire life begins to rise. You don't become powerful by wishing. You become powerful by owning your life. You don't gain control by waiting. You gain control by acting. You don't transform by blaming. You transform by taking responsibility. And one day when you look back at how far you've come, you'll realize the turning point wasn't when things got easier. It was when you decided to take full responsibility for your life. Most people try to escape pain, but powerful people learn from it because pain was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to develop you. Pain comes into your life not as a punishment, but as a messenger. It carries lessons you didn't know you needed. It reveals strength you didn't know you had. It strips away illusions and exposes truth. If you let it, pain will teach you discipline. It will teach you patience. It will teach you gratitude. But if you fight it, if you deny it, if you run from it, pain becomes a prison instead of a teacher. See, everybody experiences pain. Nobody's exempt. Heartbreak, failure, rejection, loss, disappointment. These things visit every life. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is not the amount of pain they experience, but how they interpret it. Some people allow pain to define them. Others allow pain to refine them. Some people use pain as an excuse to quit. Others use pain as fuel to grow. Pain forces you to slow down and reflect. It makes you question your habits, your relationships, your priorities. It pushes you to examine who you are and who you're becoming. It reveals what matters and what doesn't. Pain has a way of waking you up when comfort puts you to sleep. It shakes you out of routines that were silently killing your potential. Most people carry old pain into new seasons. They walk into opportunities wounded. They enter relationships broken. They approach challenges afraid. They never healed from what hurt them, so everything they touch feels heavy. That's not living, that's surviving. You can't keep dragging yesterday into tomorrow. At some point, you have to sit with the pain, learn from it, and release it. Let me tell you something real. Healing is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Facing yourself is uncomfortable. But avoiding pain only delays healing. Ignoring wounds doesn't make them disappear. It makes them deeper. You have to confront what hurt you. You have to forgive what broke you. You have to let go of what drained you. Not because it didn't matter, but because you matter more. Pain teaches humility. It teaches compassion. It teaches resilience. It teaches perspective. It shows you that you're stronger than you thought, braver than you believed, and more capable than imagined. Pain breaks ego and builds character. It humbles you while hardening your spirit. Some of you are still angry about things that happened years ago. Some of you are still replaying moments you can't change. Some of you are still living in regret. But hear this, your past cannot be rewritten, but your future is waiting for your courage. You don't heal by staying bitter. You heal by becoming better. Pain is proof that you tried. Pain is evidence that you care. Pain means you were brave enough to step into life. Don't waste it. Extract the lesson. Grow from the experience. Become wiser because of it. Every scar tells a story. Every wound carries wisdom. Every tear holds strength. You didn't go through what you went through for nothing. There is purpose in your pain. There is power in your struggle. There is growth in your grief, but only if you choose to learn. Some people let pain make them cold. Others let pain make them wise. Some people build walls. Others build strength. You decide what pain turns you into. You decide whether it cages you or it teaches you. Let me say this clearly. Pain is temporary, but the mindset you develop because of pain can last forever. Don't let a moment break your lifetime. Don't let a season define your identity. Don't let a setback steal your destiny. Pain also builds empathy. Once you've struggled, you understand others better. Once you've been broken, you know how to lift people up. Once you walk through darkness, you appreciate light differently. Your pain gives you perspective that comfort never could. Most people want success without scars. They want strength without struggle. They want wisdom without wounds. That's not how life works. Every powerful person you admire has a painful story behind their smile. Every strong leader has tears behind their confidence. Every survivor has memories behind their courage. Pain teaches patience, timing. It teaches surrender. It teaches trust. Sometimes pain comes because something had to be removed. Sometimes pain comes because something had to be revealed. Sometimes pain comes because you were ready for a higher level. You don't grow in comfort. You grow in resistance. You don't evolve in ease. You evolve in challenge. Pain pushes you into maturity. It forces you to adapt. It teaches you how to survive than how to thrive. Stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That shift changes everything. Victims ask why. Warriors ask how. How can I grow? How can I become stronger? How can I use this? You don't need to forget your pain. You need to transform it. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Turn your tears into testimony. Turn your setbacks into setups. Let pain refine you, not define you. And understand this, not a straight line. Some days you'll feel strong. Some days you'll feel weak. Some days you'll feel hopeful. Some days you'll feel tired. That's part of the process. Don't quit on yourself. Don't rush your recovery. Keep moving forward even when progress feels slow. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not defeated. You are developing. You are not stuck. You are being shaped. Pain is shaping you. And one day, if you allow it to teach you, if you allow it to grow you, if you allow it to strengthen you, you'll look back and realize that pain didn't ruin your life. It rebuilt it. Most people think confidence is something you're born with, something reserved for the naturally gifted, the loud, the bold, the lucky. But real confidence is built quietly, daily, through consistency. Confidence doesn't arrive in a sudden moment of inspiration. It grows slowly, through repeated effort, through small wins stacked over time, through showing up even when nobody notices. You don't wake up confident one day. You earn confident what you said you would do. Again and again, especially on the days when quitting feels easier. See, insecurity comes from broken promises to yourself. Every time you say you're going to start and you don't. Every time you say you'll finish and you quit. Every time you tell yourself tomorrow and delay today, you chip away at your belief. But consistency does the opposite. Every time you follow through, even in small ways, you build trust with yourself. Every time you show up tired but committed, you strengthen your inner voice. Confidence is simply the result of self-trust, and self-trust is built through consistent action. Most people wait until they feel confident before they move. But confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after. You don't believe in yourself and then take steps. You take steps and then belief grows. You don't feel ready and then begin. You begin and readiness develops. That's why consistency matters more than talent. Talent without consistency creates frustration. Consistency without talent creates progress. And progress builds confidence. Let me tell you something real. Nobody starts strong. Everybody starts unsure. Everybody starts awkward. Everybody starts scared. The difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck is that some people keep going while others stop. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite it. It's saying, I don't know everything, but I'm willing to learn. It's saying, I'm not perfect, but I'm committed. And that commitment, practiced daily, becomes your power. Consistency is how you teach your mind who's in charge. Your emotions will tell you to rest. Your comfort zone will tell you to quit. But consistency tells your mind, oh, we're doing this anyway. That's leadership. That's discipline. That's maturity. When you stay consistent, you stop letting moves run your life. You become intentional. You become focused. You become unstoppable. Some of you don't lack confidence. You lack consistency. You don't need another motivational video. You need to honor your routine. You don't need louder affirmations. You need quieter discipline. You don't need more hype. You need more follow through. Confidence doesn't come from talking. It comes from doing. Every time you practice your craft, you get sharper. Every time you train your body, you get stronger. Every time you study your field, you get wiser. Every time you push through discomfort, you get tougher. Consistency compound. Small actions repeated daily turn into massive results over time. But most people quit too early. They stop before momentum kicks in. They give up before the breakthrough. They abandon the process because they don't see instant results. But growth is silent at first. Results whisper before they shout. Progress hides before it reveals itself. That's why consistency requires faith. Faith in the process. Faith in yourself. Faith that the work you're doing today will show up tomorrow. Confidence grows when you stay long enough to see the fruit of your effort. Consistency also builds clarity. The more you do something, the more you understand it. The more you understand it, the better you become. The better you become, the more confident you feel. It's a cycle. Action creates experience. Experience creates skill. Skill creates belief. creates momentum. Momentum creates success. Most people are inconsistent because they let external results determine internal effort. If things go well, they work harder. If things go wrong, they slow down. But disciplined people keep going regardless. They don't let outcomes control their habits. They let commitment guide their behavior. That's why they grow while others stall. Confidence doesn't come from applause. It comes from preparation. It comes from knowing you put in the work when nobody was watching. It comes from remembering all the times you didn't quit. It comes from understanding that you survived hard days before and you'll survive again. That kind of confidence can't be shaken. Some of you are comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. You're looking at their results while ignoring their consistency. You don't see their early mornings. You don't see their lonely nights. You don't see their sacrifices. You don't see their failures. You only see the highlight. But confidence is built in the shadows. It's built in repetition. It's built in persistence. Consistency also creates identity. What you repeatedly do becomes who you believe you are. If you consistently show up, you start seeing yourself as reliable. If you consistently work hard, you start seeing yourself as disciplined. If you consistently push forward, you start seeing yourself as resilient. Identity is shaped by behavior. Behavior shapes belief. Let me tell you this. Confidence is not loud. Real confidence is quiet. It doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need approval. It stands on preparation. It rests on consistency. It knows who it is because it earned it. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You don't need huge breakthroughs. You need daily progress. You don't need massive motivation. You need steady discipline. 1 hour a day beats 10 hours once a month. 1 page a day beats 1 book a year. 1 workout a day beats waiting for the perfect time. Consistency also trains your nervous system to handle pressure. When you repeatedly put yourself in uncomfortable situations, fear loses its grip. When you repeatedly challenge yourself, doubt gets quieter. When you repeatedly show up, your confidence becomes automatic. You stop overthinking. You stop hesitating. You move. Some of you are afraid of failing, but failure is part of consistency. You're afraid of looking foolish, but growth requires humility. You're afraid of not being good enough, but nobody starts great. The only real failure is stopping. Confidence is not built in comfort. It's built in repetition. It's built in resilience. It's built in routine. Every time you keep going when it's hard, you add another layer to your confidence. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you strengthen your belief. Every time you finish what you start, you rise. And here's the truth. Consistency doesn't just change your results. It changes your self-respect. It changes how you talk to yourself. It changes how you carry yourself. It changes how you approach challenge. It changes how you see your future. You stop hoping. You start knowing. One day, if you stay consistent, you'll look back and realize that confidence didn't arrive suddenly. It was built slowly, quietly, daily, through consistency. Most people pray for change, hope for opportunities, and wait for blessings. But very few understand that blessings are activated by action. Nothing moves in your life until you do. Dreams don't wake up on their own. Purpose doesn't chase you down. Success doesn't knock on your door while you sit still. Everything you want is waiting on your willingness to move. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you're meant to be. You can visualize all day, speak affirmations all night, and write goals in every notebook you own. But if you don't move your feet, your life stays exactly the same. Faith without action is empty. Belief without behavior is just imagination. Hope without effort is just wishing. You don't receive what you desire. You receive what you pursue. Life responds to movement. Opportunities open when you step forward. Doors appear when you walk toward them. Strength shows up when you start lifting. Clarity comes when you begin moving. You don't get everything figured out first and then act. You act and then things start making sense. Some of you are waiting for confidence before you start, but confidence comes from starting. Some of you are waiting for motivation before you move, but motivation follows movement. Some of you are waiting for perfect timing, but perfect timing is created through action. There is no ideal moment. There is only now. Delayed action is denied destiny. Every day you wait is a day your future gets postponed. Action is uncomfortable. Action is uncomfortable. Action exposes you. Action forces you to face fear, rejection, uncertainty, and failure. That's why most people avoid it. It's easier to plan than to perform. It's easier to talk than to do. It's easier to dream than to execute. But nothing changes until you take responsibility for movement. You don't grow by thinking. You grow by doing. Let me tell you something real. Every breakthrough you admire came from someone who moved when it was scared. Every success story started with someone taking a step without knowing the outcome. Every powerful life was built by someone who refused to stay frozen by fear. Action is the language of commitment. It tells the universe you're serious. It tells your mind you're ready. It tells your future you're coming. Some of you are asking God for direction, but direction follows obedience. Some of you are asking for clarity, but clarity follows courage. Some of you are asking for provision, but provision follows preparation. You have to move with what you have. Moses didn't part the sea first. He lifted his staff. The water moved after he acted. Blessings don't arrive before obedience. They show up because of it. Action trains your mind to trust you. Every time you move despite fear, your confidence grows. Every time you take a step, your belief strengthens. Every time you push past resistance, your identity changes. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hopes and start seeing yourself as someone who does. Most people stay stuck because they're waiting for guarantees. But growth requires risk. Transformation requires uncertainty. Elevation requires stepping into the unknown. You don't need certainty to start. You need courage. You don't need permission. You need movement. Action is what separates dreamers from builders. Everybody dreams. Everybody wants more. Everybody talks about potential. But builders act. Builders execute. Builders show up when it's inconvenient. Builders work when it's uncomfortable. Builders fail forward. Builders learn fast. Builders don't quit. You don't need a master plan. You need momentum. Take one step, then another, then another. Progress creates clarity. Movement creates momentum. Momentum creates miracles. Small actions done daily outperform big intentions done occasionally. Some of you are waiting for a big opportunity, but big opportunities come to people who handle small responsibilities. If you can't manage what's in your hands, you're not ready for what's in your prayers. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Action multiplies resources. Let me be clear. Action doesn't guarantee instant success, but inaction guarantees permanent regret. You might fall. You might look foolish, but you will learn. You will grow. You will evolve. Standing still teaches nothing. Action also reveals who you really are. When pressure hits, when fear rises, when doubt speaks, your response exposes your character. Do you move or freeze? Do you try or hide? Do you fight or quit? Action builds resilience. It teaches you how to get back up. It strengthens your spirit. Some people confuse preparation with procrastination. They keep getting ready but never start. They keep planning but never execute. Preparation without action is just delay dressed up as responsibility. At some point, you have to stop organizing your dreams and start chasing them. Action requires discipline. It requires consistency. It requires sacrifice. You will have to wake up early. You will have to say no to distractions. You will have to leave comfort behind. But every step forward brings you closer to the life you want. You weren't created to sit on potential. You were created to activate it. You weren't designed to wait forever. You were designed to move with purpose. Your gifts need action. Your dreams need action. Your future needs action. And here's the truth. Blessings are already lined up. Opportunities already exist. Doors are already prepared. But they respond to movement. They open when you walk. They appear when you advance. They reveal themselves when you refuse to stay stuck. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for approval. Stop waiting for everything to make sense. Start moving. Start scared. Start tired. Start unsure. Action creates strength. Action builds belief. Action activates blessing. And one day when you look back at how far you've come, you'll realize that everything changed the moment you stopped waiting and started walking. Because blessings don't come to those who wish. They come to those who move. And before I leave you today, I want you to understand something deeply, something that goes beyond motivation, beyond hype, beyond words. Your life is not an accident. Your struggles are not random. Your delays are not denials. Everything you walked through has been preparing you for what you're about to step into. You didn't survive what you survived just to live an average life. You didn't fight through sleepless nights, silent tears, broken confidence, and unanswered prayers just to quit halfway. You are still here because there is still purpose inside you. Some of you are tired, not physically tired, soul tired. The kind of tired that comes from trying again and again with no visible results. The kind that comes from giving your best and still feeling unseen. The kind that makes you question whether it's worth continuing. But hear me clearly. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening. Roots grow underground before anything breaks the surface. Seeds struggle in darkness before they bloom in sunlight. What you're building right now is invisible, but it's real. Stop measuring your life by someone else's timeline. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's pace is different. Everybody's base is different. The fact that it's taking longer for you doesn't mean it won't happen. It means your foundation is being built deeper. Some of you have been carrying disappointment like it's part of your identity. You wear past failures like labels. You let old mistakes define your future. But your past is a classroom, not a prison. Learn from it. Grow from it. Then leave it behind. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to become better. You are allowed to start again. Let go of who you were. Make room for who you're becoming. You don't need to be perfect to move forward. You don't need to have it all together. You just need courage for the next step. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires perfection. It requires persistence. One small step every day beats one big leap. That never happened. Understand this. Everything you want is on the other side of consistency. Confidence comes from showing up. Discipline comes from repetition. Strength comes from struggle. Wisdom comes from experience. You become powerful by doing hard things repeatedly. There will be days when you feel unstoppable, and there will be days when you feel invisible. There will be moments of clarity, and there will be seasons of confusion. That's part of growth. Don't quit in the middle of becoming. Some of your breakthroughs are delayed because you're still entertaining distraction. Some of your blessings are waiting because you haven't fully committed. You can't live a focused life with distracted mind. Protect your energy, guard your time. Be intentional with your effort. Not everyone will support your journey. Some people will doubt you. Some will misunderstand you. Some will walk away. That's okay. Every level requires a new circle. Every transformation demands separation. Sometimes God removes people not to hurt you, but to protect your future. Stop trying to explain your vision to people who can't see it. Stop seeking validation from those who don't share your values. The loudest approval you need is your own. And listen to me. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is. Fear teaches. Fear paralyzes. Failure builds character. Fear steals opportunity. Don't let fear talk you out of your destiny. Do it afraid. Walk while shaking. Speak while nervous. Try even when unsure. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is movement in spite of fear. Some of you are carrying guilt for things you can't change. Some of you are holding anger that's draining your strength. Some of you are trapped in regret. Release it. You can't drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Forgive others. Free your spirit. You owe it to yourself to heal. You owe it to yourself to grow. You owe it to yourself to try again. Remember why you started. Remember the nights you prayed for what you have now. Remember the version of you that refused to give up. That fire is still inside you. Success is not about money. It's about impact. It's about becoming disciplined. It's about developing character. It's about showing your family what resilience looks like. It's about proving to yourself that you can rise above circumstances. You were built for more discipline, more courage, more focus, more purpose. Stop settling for survival when you were created for significance. Every morning you wake up is another opportunity to rewrite your story. Every breath is another chance to move closer to your dreams. Every setback is a setup for growth if you choose to learn from it. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to do the work for you. This is your responsibility. This is your life. This is your moment. You don't need to wait for January. You don't need to wait for Monday. You don't need to wait for permission. Start today. Start now. Take ownership. Decide who you're becoming. Decide what you're no longer tolerating. Decide how hard you're willing to work. Your future is built by daily decisions. And one day, when the results finally show, when the doors finally open, when the growth becomes visible, people will call you lucky. They won't see the early mornings. They won't see the lonely nights. They won't see the sacrifices. They won't see the silent battles. But you will know what it cost. And you'll be proud you didn't quit. So stand up in your spirit. Lift your standards. Raise your effort. Respect your calling. Walk with purpose. Move with faith. Work with intensity. Love yourself enough to change. Believe in yourself enough to try. Discipline yourself enough to stay consistent. And promise me this, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how slow it feels, no matter how heavy life becomes, you will not give up on yourself. Because your story is still being written. Your best days are still ahead. Your potential is still waiting. And tomorrow is yours if you're brave enough to claim it.